Welcome to Lunch Break with ATI. I'm Meg Gates Osborne. I'm the Marketing and Development Director for Actors Theater of Indiana, and I'm very excited to officially meet Deborah Mae Hill. And I first saw Deborah in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and she was fabulous. And she is now part of Sunset Boulevard. We have one more week, guys. You've got to see this show. It's absolutely incredible. Now I'm going to ask Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie.
Yes,
now we got through the formal
Debbie's
stuff.
Great.
Debbie, tell us just first of all about your background, how you progressed through theater and singing in Ball State University as a professor, and let the audience know how you've got to where you are.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Well, I got my start singing in church. Just growing up, probably since I was like 3, my parents sang, they led the music at church, and so that's kind of where it started. And then when I was in elementary school, I joined the Lafayette Area Children's Choir.
Ooh, that's fun.
And that kind of just sparked my love of singing.
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, I was able to be in musicals for the first time, which blew my mind. My very first musical I was ever in was in the ensemble of Once Upon a Mattress. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And so that kind of sparked my love of musicals. And then I actually went to school for music education. And after I taught for a year, it was fine. I liked it just fine. But I was like, I don't love this. So I went back to graduate school for vocal performance and kind of had a focus in opera. I always had this musical theater thing I loved. But at the time, you couldn't really get your master's in musical theater, and I didn't want to go back and get a musical theater degree. And I did not want to move to New York. You know, I just got married, and that was just not in my future. So I went to grad school and studied opera, and really, what I studied was how to be a really efficient and durable singer. I had an excellent voice teacher who just instilled in me a really good technique. That kind of spurred me into being able to perform in the Kentucky Opera Chorus in Louisville, Kentucky, which was a wonderful experience that kind of led to my my first really big main stage role there, which was really fun. But after grad school, I just kind of stuck around the Kentucky, Southern Indiana area and started performing in musical theater. I didn't even really use my opera degree other than to start teaching voice lessons. And so stayed in Kentucky for a few years, performed professionally and in some community theaters. And then I ended up going back to teaching a little bit at a private school, which I loved, and got to direct a lot, which was really fun.
Yeah. That just took everything you had to a new level.
Yeah, it was really fun. And through that experience, I really learned that I love teaching students one-on-one in terms of voice lessons and but just more than technique, I really enjoy the artistry of helping someone find their voice and how do they tell a story through song. And that's something I really enjoy. And then after that, my husband and I moved to Oregon.
Wow.
And
was that just because of his job? Or?
Yeah, he graduated he did a graduate program, and we had always said we wanted to move out west, so we did.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We took our daughter and we moved out west. And while I was there, I was in a really wonderful theater community in Salem, Oregon, where I was able to perform in Salem professionally, and then I went over to Bend, Oregon and performed professionally, and then right before we left Oregon, I was able to work at the Broadway Rose.
Oh, that's neat.
Near Portland, Oregon, which was really wonderful. And then we moved to Ohio.
Wow, you made it all over.
And when we moved to Ohio, I actually had my first audition here.
Okay.
I drove over from Dayton and auditioned here and had a wonderful process for Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah. You were fabulous. She had this yellow dress, and she walked out on stage, and I was just like, wow.
It was really fun. And during that time, I also started just a random part-time job at Wright State University teaching in their musical theater department.
Wow.
That
would have been neat.
I taught voice lessons.
Yeah, you took everything you'd been working on.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. This is the kind of job I didn't think I'd have until I was much older. But I really loved it. And, then COVID happened.
Right.
I had another kid. and we decided we wanted to be back near Indianapolis, near my family a little bit.
Your roots.
And that eventually led me to teaching at Ball State University full time. I always say I have like my dream job about 10 years before I ever thought I'd get it. It was kind of a unicorn.
Yeah, well, and Ball State has such a wonderful theater program as a whole.
Yes, it's been so wonderful to work with the students there, and the faculty there is wonderful. And the great thing about being in a university setting is that you're encouraged to still do the thing that you do well. And for me, that's telling stories and singing stories on stage. And so I've been really fortunate. It's been about 5 years since I've been able to do that completely. I've done like some concert work of my own that I've developed, but and I did like a celebration here. But I haven't been able to be on stage in a character's, in a character role for a while. So,
well, tell us about Betty Schaefer.
Betty.
When you got the script for Betty Schaefer, what happens? Tell somebody what happens. I mean, we see you in the final product on stage, and I know that every night there's a different flavor and twist that happens. But how does a person take a script with a name and a synopsis and a vibe behind and create it?
Well, for me, it really does start with reading through everything that she does and what she's about. And, in a script, it'll say originally, like, Betty enters from here, or Betty makes this kind of face, which may not end up in the, the final product. Yeah. But it gives me an idea of what the original intent was behind some of Betty's things. I also had the privilege of being able to see the revival last year on Broadway.
Oh, on Broadway in New York.
And I saw another actor's interpretation of Betty. I've listened to a few interpretations of Betty through some revival recordings or just the original Broadway cast. And through all of that, I kind of got to filter through some things that I was like, oh, this is what Betty's about. Oh, I don't think Betty's about what they thought Betty was about. And then, of course, working with Michael, our director, a wonderful director.
Oh, he's fabulous.
He helped me find a real sense of, like, I had a really good idea of what I thought Betty could bring to the production and what I thought I could bring to Betty. And he just really helped me solidify that and clarify it. And, like, I really wanted to give her quite a backbone. And he just was like, yes.
Do it.
Give you permission to do that.
Question.
And so that was great.
You're beautiful as you are.
Thank you.
What does it feel like, or how is it to transpose into another character with a different hair color and a wig and a type of dress that you would never probably wear?
Yeah.
And feel confident with who you are as an actress to be able to change.
Yeah.
And not say, okay, this isn't really me. I feel really. How does that work?
I think some of it comes down to having really good designers. So we have a wonderful wig designer.
Yes.
Drew is fantastic. He really, he asked for pictures of us before he started wig designing, wanted to know what kind of hair we had, to kind of get a sense of our coloring. And then he just produced this most beautiful wig.
Yes, it is. But you do not look at all like you look when you're on stage. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. And it's
that's a compliment.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being able to, once you get the wig on, and then the costumer, of course, just a wonderful costumer that we work with who really wanted to find pieces that I would like, and the costumer let me contribute, hey, could Betty have a scarf? Would you be okay if I wore my pearl earrings? Would you know there are little things that I was able to bring to Betty's costumes, and I specifically love a period costume.
Yes.
And specifically late 40s, early 50s costuming. I love it.
When Judy walks out in that mink, that light mink, gosh. I just am to die to wear the light mink the way she carries crosses because that was such a example of that era.
Yeah. So that's been really wonderful, and it does help so much when you finally put on the costume, put on the wig, and literally step into Betty's shoes, right? And I always bring a certain amount of me to every character I play, but to know that it's not me, right? It's Betty.
It's Betty.
Yeah, she's just fantastic. She's one of my favorite characters I've ever played.
That's great. Now I have another question,
Yes.
and it's opera.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so many people, and I'm one of them, opera seems out there. I
Yeah.
mean, just because the operas I've heard and seen, I half the time can't understand what's going
Right.
on. And I know they're telling a story through the songs and the
Yes.
words and the... How does opera, because I have another young lady that I work with that's an opera singer from Butler University. How does opera give you the base for what you're teaching other kids, what you sing? I mean, how does that help?
Sure. Well, I think for me, that was just the medium through which I chose
Right.
to get more technique. It's not required. I don't actually use a lot of opera in the teaching I do. But I think I think a lot of technique is actually like musical theater, contemporary singing. I could go down a big rabbit hole here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, long list of genres.
I've got 2 degrees in this stuff, so I'm like,
Yeah.
but for the main part, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Singing is singing,
Singing.
right? So for me, it's a matter of stylistically, am I staying true to what I am singing? So in opera, we're asked to have a fuller sound.
Yeah, I
our
would say they're so
our
deep.
vowels may be more like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A musical theater, we're asked to be. It's an American art form, right? So we're asked to be American, right? Which may be a little brighter. It may be more spoken and sung. So I think for me, opera was just the kind of the entry point for me to know that I was going to do sustainable singing for a long time. Yeah.
It gave you the base.
Correct. Yeah.
That's neat. That's neat because I know opera seems like it comes from your belly up.
Yes,
and out.
but all
and,
singing does.
Yeah, but
really.
but the reality is
and acting too. Acting comes from here.
inside.
You know, so
It's funny.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
We just interpret it differently.
yeah, how you do it. Well, I am so excited. And Sunset Boulevard, we have 1 week left.
Yes.
We've had incredible reviews. You can go on the Facebook. If you're one of our newsletter, you'll receive them. The talk is on the town about how fabulous this show is.
really
For
great.
Carmel to have a show that is seen on Broadway, that's here locally, to see Judy and all of you take these characters and just bring them alive.
Yeah, and
on the stage.
I would venture to say, just kind of going off of our opera discussion, this is formed like an opera. It's very sung through. There's gorgeous music throughout.
Yeah.
And Judy is fantastic.
And Luke Weber.
Oh, Luke is so
And
great.
I would be remiss
Luke is
not
so
to
great.
say Don Farrell and Max. If you
Yes.
haven't met Max, you
Yes.
need to come meet Max.
Yes.
Don does a fabulous
Don is
job
so
as
great.
Max.
Don
You
is
just
so
feel
great.
it. You feel
Yeah,
it. So-
and that role in particular takes on an operatic tone because of the grandeur of the character and the kind
presence.
of the presence of the character.
yeah, I would agree. And then now the good news
Yes.
is drum roll, da 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 da. You're coming back.
I am.
Tell
Yes.
everybody about it.
So I am actually going to I get to be in the closing show of this season, and I get to be in the opening show of the next season,
I'm
which
so
is
excited.
Beehive.
It's
the 70s
Yeah,
one.
it's never can say goodbye.
Never can say goodbye. Never can say
70s
goodbye.
Beehive.
Yes.
So, and
Yep.
it's going to be the same girls with you.
With me.
One
yes.
of the girls took a job on a cruise ship
Yes.
for a year.
Yes.
So we're really excited to have all of you back. That's going to be wonderful.
I'm very excited to be asked by. I love musicals that are that celebrate song of a certain era, and particularly the divas of a certain
Yeah.
area. I'm very excited.
Well,
about
and
that.
I just think our whole season for 26, 27 is fabulous.
Yes.
Get your season tickets now
Yes.
because they are on sale. They are available. If you want to pick your seats and you have your same date and same seat, get it now.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot going on. We have our gala, which is June 4th, and it's sold out April
Oh,
15th.
that's fantastic.
I was hoping to get sold out mid-May. Surprise!
Surprise!
Everybody
That's
wanted to come.
Oh,
so
that's
we're
fantastic.
excited about that too.
That'll be great.
And we're going to be either July 22nd or July 29th. We haven't announced it officially. But for people who maybe missed the gala or for people who want to do both, we're going to have a Hoagie and Cole presentation fundraiser at Feinstein's.
Okay.
So more to come on that. Tickets.
Oh, that's
I do know
fantastic.
Don and Judy and Darren Morrell and Julie Lynn Barber and Keith Potts and Terry Woods are the first original names that I have been given.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great show.
Oh, that's
and it's in that
fantastic.
intimate, Feinstein's facility. If you haven't been there yet, it's wonderful. So we're real excited about that. That's going to give us some kind of an event at the end of July, and then we'll go into the opening season.
That'll be so fun.
ATI does not rest.
No.
We go and go and go.
That's
a
that's
lot
great.
going on behind the scenes. And from hearing from Debbie, you can hear what goes in behind the scenes of these actors and actresses. It's not just walking in that night and voila, they're on the stage. There is a lot of time and effort and talent and professionalism put into these shows. So come out to ATI, Actors Theater of Indiana, join us for a show, fall in love with Actors Theater of Indiana like I have. I've been here almost 10 years. Saw you in the first, so, and come be part of our family. Have a great week.